Akadosh Boker or Masechet Sotah Daf Kavbet Amud Aleph 22a1. We were talking about that somebody that was going to be Kara Veshana Velo Shimesh Talmidei Chachamim. That is a person which is what? Which is a Rasha Arum. Remember, there were 7 different explanations. Okay, what's a Rasha Arum? Somebody that means he's learning. He's not doing Shimush Talmidei Chachamim. Okay, there's many reasons for that exactly, but it could be that he's going to be making a lot of mistakes because he didn't do enough shimush, and therefore it's going to be a big problem. Fine. Itmar, it was stated. Somebody that's learning, right? He learned mikra. Remember, whenever it says kara, it means mikra. Mikra means chumash, Bible, right? When it says shana, shana is mishnayot, mishnah. Which is like gemara, which means that he didn't learn the halacha l'maaseh. Rabbi Elazar says, you understand? You could have a person that he knows Torah Bal Peh. He knows Mishnayot Bal Peh. But if he doesn't know Gemara, which means he doesn't know the Halacha L'Maaseh, he's an Amaretz. Yeah? Rabbi Shmuel Bar Nachmani Amar, there's a Bur. He's a Bur. Bur is even worse than Amaretz. Okay? Because in Amaretz, at least he does Derech Eretz. A Bur, he has nothing. Wallo. He doesn't have not Chokhmah, not Midot. So that's a Bur. Okay, that's the difference between a Bur and a Ma'aretz. A Ma'aretz just means that he doesn't know.
Usually they say Bur ve'Amaretz.
So that was the difference between a Bur and a Ma'aretz, an Amaretz. Rabbi Yana Yomer Areze Kuti. Do you know he's like a goy, which means you're not allowed to eat from his bread or drink from his wine. This person that he's Kara v'Shana, but not Talmidei Chachamim. V'ach Bar Yaakov Omer Rabbi Yaakov says, Areze Magosh, he's a Mechashef. Why? Because what's a Mechashef? Is a person that plays tricks with the eyes. So this guy, he shows Kilu that he knows a lot because he knows, Chumash, he knows Mishnah, but if he didn't do Shimush Talmidei Chachamim, means he doesn't know the halacha. So he's playing with people's minds. Kilu is showing that he knows the law, but really, be'emet, he's far away. So now it comes and it says as follows. It says, it's logical, like Rav Bar Yaakov, that it's like a mechashef, he's like a sorcerer. Why? He's like a magician. Because people say, go, right? He says certain things and they don't understand what he's saying. So Tani Tana v'lo yada mayamar. So the same thing. Just like this magician, he comes and he says abracadabra and keilu, he's saying something and all of a sudden something happens. The same thing. This guy's coming, he's saying a lot of things, but he doesn't understand a word that he's saying. Right? Why? Because it could be that he knows Chumash and he knows Mishnah, but he doesn't actually know the real explanation of what's going on. So Tanu Rabbanan, we learned in the Braita, who is the Ma'aretz? Somebody does not say the Kriyat Shema Varvit and Shachri with the Berachot. These are the words of Rabbi Meir. Chachamim say kosher tefillin if you don't put on tefillin. And as I says kosher if he doesn't have tzitzit. That means there's a lot of people that don't wear tzitzit. According to the Gemara, what we just said right now, the guy's an Ama Aretz. He could be a guy with an IQ level of I don't know what. Ama Aretz. Why? He does not put on tzitzit. Rabbi Yonatan ben Yosef omer kol sheisho banim v'megam Torah. If he has children, he's not growing them up in the path of Torah. Other people say the same thing. Even if you're learning and you're doing Mikra, Mishnah, but you're not doing Shimush Talmidei Chachamim, it's an Amaretz. Kara v'lo shina, but if he read Mikra and he didn't learn Mishnah, then that's even a Bur. Lo kara, if he didn't do anything, Alav HaKatuv Omer, v'zarati et Bet Yisrael zera Adam v'zera Behema. So I planted within Bet Yisrael human beings and animals as well. So therefore, we know exactly what does that refer to. Okay, that means basically the Burim to the Behema. So Akadosh Baruch Hu is saying that Kilu, that we also have Behemot also. Right? That means it's like Mamash, he's like an animal. He's not, he's nothing. Okay? Fine. Yira et Hashem beni v'amelech v'im shonim al titarev. What does this refer to? There's a pasuk in Mishle Kavdaled. So Amar Rabbi Yitzchak says, Rabbi Yitzchak, elu sheshonim alachot. These people are shonim alachot. What does that mean? The Mishnayot. Meaning that these people are people that they're coming. And, it's not Shlomo Melech is coming and telling Rechovam his son. Yeah, he's coming and telling him, right, that do not go with people that they're not, they're different from Hashem. So these are people which are not being Meshamesh Talmidei Chachamim. So says the Gemara, Pshita, obviously, right? He says, obviously, what do you, maybe you wanted to say Shonin Bechet, that they're going to be, which means that they're going to do Teshuvah, and like Ravuna. Ravuna says, once a person does an Avirah and he continues doing it again, Utralo, right? Kamashmalan. So it becomes permitted. What does that mean? So it's coming to say that Ki'ilu, that the people that they're learning Mishnayot, but they're not Mishamshim Talmidei Chachamim, these are the people that Ki'ilu, that everything is permitted for them, but they don't actually know They don't do teshuvah because they don't actually know what's going on. Okay? Fine. Tana, we learned on a Braita. Hatanaim, right? The people that they only learn Mishnayot. Mevaleh olam, they're destroying the world. Mevaleh olam, why are you destroying the world? What are they destroying the world? Like, what's going on? So he says, Amaravina, Shemorin alacha mitoch mishnatan. You know why? Because they paskin alacha from Mishnah. And they don't know the alacha l'maaseh. So Tanya Miyachi, we also learned it in right time. The people, they're learning. No, because they come and they start pasking, but they don't know the reason. Meaning, if a person comes and he starts pasking, but he doesn't know the reason of it, it's going to be a big problem. Fine. Next, Isha Prusha is also considered Mevale Olam. Tanobanam betulat tzalyanit, a balat tefillah, or almana shovavit, or a balat shechenot. I mean, she's always going to an almana, that she's always going to visit her friends. The katan shelo kalul chodashav, or a child that he didn't finish up his, his term, meaning we're talking about a fetus. Harelu mevale olam. These are mevale olam. He says the reason why is because these women, right, which are basically which one?
What does it mean?
Tzalyanit, balat tefillah. I mean, she's always going to the tefillah.
Okay.
So it says here that these women, that they're women that they're promiscuous, they're doing adultery all the time, because basically they're always around men. They're going around. So the same thing, she's going around always with the neighbors and this and that. So that's why he comes and he says, okay. So he comes and he says, 1 second, and he says, so he says, how can you say that? We learned to be God-fearing from a betulah. The kibul schar, to receive reward, we learned it from an almanah. Yirat chet mi betulah. Where do we learn yirat chet from betulah? Listen to this. Rabbi Yochanan shamalei betulah denafla pe vekamra. He heard a betulah coming and saying, Ribono shel olam, barata gan eden ubarata ginam. You created gan eden and ginam. Barata tzadikim barata reshaim. You made tzadikim. You made reshaim. The tzadikim to take gan eden and reshaim to take a ginam. Yirat tzom shelu kashlu bi ben adam. She's praying to Hashem that people should not fall for her. That means they should not come and be nichshal with her. The kibul schar me'almana, and we learned. So therefore, he says that's yirat chet. He heard the betulah coming and praying to Hashem. Hashem, people should not look at me. A lot of times, betulot, they do the opposite. They come, they have very long hair, they have this, they beautify themselves, so people look at them. Here's exactly the thing. They do not want people to look at them. Yeah. So he says kibul schar me'almana. Right? What does that mean? You're receiving reward from an almana. He says it was an almana that was in the Bet Knesset b'shkunuta. Kol yomat hava'ata, she used to come. She used to pray in the Bet Midrash of Rabbi Yochanan. Amala, he told her, "Biti, lo Bet Knesset b'shkunuta." He said, "I don't understand you. You don't have a Bet Knesset in your area. Why are you coming until here?" Amrale, she said, "Rabbi, velo schar psiot yeshi. I have schar psiot." She didn't take a scooter. Right? She wanted schar psiot. Every step is a mitzvah. That's what she wanted. So she was going even further away. She wasn't going mamash right beside her house. She was going further away. So kika, so he says, you know what? Right? When are we talking about mevale olam? To women, kigon Yochani bat Retivi. Yochani bat Retivi. It says here she was an almana mechashefa, that she used to come and stop to her mechashefa, the women that they couldn't become pregnant anymore. And after that, they used to be mitztaed, right? They used to, right? She used to come and she used to hide her kshafim. And then the child used to come out. So everyone used to think that kilu, that her tefillot were answered. Meaning she used to come and put a potion or a hocus pocus on a woman, and she couldn't give birth. And then it was like a problem. You understand? It was like, so then what happened was that they used to come to her, and then she used to take away her kshuf, and all of a sudden they used to give birth. So they used to think she's a big tzadeket, right? And then it says once it happened that when a woman came to the house of the Yoledet, right, she heard the kol mechashafim. She heard it inside of a utensil, right? So he says he opened it up and it went out. So then they knew exactly what happened, that she was a bala mechashafa, right? That's one of them. Okay. So basically, that's what he's coming here. We're saying that Mevale Olam, they're destroying the entire world. Okay? So he says, okay, fine. But if not, then you're right. And we did learn, right, whether it's going to be Kibul Schar from an Almanar, or we did learn, different things as well. Okay? My katan shelo kalul chodasha. What does it mean that you have a katan, a minor, that he did not finish his term? So Achi Targimu Yud, he said it's a Tamil Chacham v'eber botav. You have it's a Tamil Chacham that he comes, and basically he's kicking his rabbis, meaning that he didn't finish learning properly. And because of that, he's going to have a very short life. That's why it says, Lo kalu lo chodashav, he doesn't finish his term. Okay, Rabbi Abba says, we're talking about a rabbi that he still cannot paskin halachot, and he starts paskening. Rav says, Rav, what does it mean? Pasuk, Rabim chalalim mepila, v'atzumim kol harugea. Rabim chalalim mepila, ze tamid chacham shelo hagiya le'ora umoreh, and he's paskening. V'atzumim kol harugea, and look how many people he's killing. But he's not. Meaning it works both ways. Whether it's because he cannot paskin, but he's paskening, and then he's destroying things. The other way around, that he knows how to paskin, but he doesn't paskin. So it's also a person that's coming, right, and he's destroying. Right, kama, right, kavbetam 22b, kama, and until when is it that he's fitting to varorah? Adar bein shnin, until the age of 40. Once he gets to the age of 40, that's it. So it says Aini Raburi. He says, one second, but Rabbi was he only lived till 40, and he was paskening halachot. He says, no, b'shavim. We're talking about the Tamil Chacham, which is shaveh legadol ha'ir b'chokhmah, or there's nobody else, and he's allowed to do it even before the age of 40. But if not, you have to wait until the age of 40. So the two dots on Gavbet Amubet 22b, the two dots says umakot prushim, right? They're mivalei olam. Tana Rabbanan, we learned in the Braita. What are we talking about here? These people, parush shichmi, parush nikfi, parush kizai, parush maduchya, parush mechavoti vesenu, parush me'ava, parush me'ira. Wow. Let's see what we're talking about over here. That ki'ilu, that their kavanah is only l'shem shamayim. So what are we talking about over here? Parush shichmi is haoseh maaseh shechem, meaning he's doing his actions not l'shem shamayim, but so that way people should respect him. Just like people of Shechem were doing it, they weren't doing it l'shem shamayim. So that's why it's called shichmi, like Shechem. Some of these are doing their actions, but they're not doing it l'shem shamayim. It's a powerful thing, though. It says over here, right? That they did it in order that they should be able to get married to the daughters of Yaakov. So therefore, they weren't doing it shemal shelo l'shem shamayim. Okay, fine. Next one, pirush nikfi. What is pirush nikfi? Zeh menakif et raglav. Right? What does that mean? That he's going ki'ilu, that he doesn't pick up his feet from the ground. So because of that, he's hitting the feet in the ground. That's called a nakef. Nakef is like he's hitting. So what is this now? Rashi. Okay. Harush kizai. Which means, right, he's putting ki'ilu that he's not looking at women, and because of that, he's always hitting himself in the walls, and the blood is coming out. Yeah, that's the kavanah of makot prushim. Harush medochya, meaning
I'd rather look, so I don't hit anymore.
Exactly, you don't hit any walls, no? Parush madochya. Because he said, what is parush madochya? Amar Rashila de mashpa de meshapa ki madochya. That he's going so bent over, right? Like that he's like like a kafuf, that he's bent over. So all these, what is a parush mechavoti vesenu, right? That you have to teach me what I have to do. Hamelietu, he says, I thought that's something good. Meaning, if you don't know the halachot and you're asking to learn, so that's something good. Eladamar mechavoti tuvas, and he says, no, I already do so much. Kilu, I already do everything. Parush me'ava, parush me'ira, right? We already know what it is. So Amrulei Abaye v'Rava latana, says Abaye v'Rava to the Tana, lo titni, right? Don't teach parush me'ava, parush me'ira. He says what? A person should always learn lo lishma, because as long as they start lo lishma, they'll get to lishma. So what's the problem? Right? He says the machshavot hanistarot and the things which are going to be revealed. Beidina Rabba and the Beidina Gadol Shel Mala litpara mehani dechafu gunde are going to come, and the kilu that they're in their talitot and showing themselves kilu they're in prushim, and really bemet they're not. This was actually my Dvar Torah on Shabbat. You remember about the tzuim, about the person that he could be in talit and tefillin all day, and everyone thinks that he's a big tzaddik, and really bemet he was eating chametz on Pesach and breakfast on Kippur. You remember? That was our Dvar Torah on Shabbat. Tzuim, right? The tzavua, the pig, right? Which is basically showing kilu that they're kosher, they're not kosher. So Amar Yanai Malka ledvite, says Yanai Malka to his wife. We brought down this Gemara. Al tityarim min prushim. Right? Don't be afraid of the tzaddikim. Lo mi she'en prushim are the ones that are not. It means the ones that because they're tzaddikim, or the ones which they like you. And I mean it's swing from the people that are colored, they're tainted. the hypocrites, shedomin leprushim, because they look like prushim, shemasen k'masezim, however, though that their actions are like zimri, that he's committing adultery and doing all these things and going with goyot, but then they come and they ask for a reward like Pinchas, meaning they're doing terrible things, but then they come and they're the biggest tzaddikim. So that's called the tzvuin. Okay, we brought this Gimel also on Shabbat. Yeah, we just brought this on Shabbat. Okay, fine. Mishnah on Kavbet Amubet 22b, the Mishnah. The Shimon says, "En zechut ula b'mayim amarim." A zechut cannot push off the onesh of drinking the mayim marim. Okay, which means in the previous Mishnah we were talking about a sotah that she drank and she didn't die immediately. She could have a mitzvah which is like a zechut which is going to protect her. Our Mishnah is going to bring actually a machloket tanaim. According to Rabbi Shimon, and the vakazet doesn't exist. She drank kaddish. She did an avera, doesn't help anything. Right now, if you're going to come and if you're going to say, maybe it is going to be zoche, madhe ota et hamayim, right? It's going to take away the mayim. If they call anashim meshutot, right? Why? Because you're going to put that even if she was nitmeah, she's not going to be afraid of drinking it, right? And she's not going to say that she's not going to admit it. So therefore, because of that, Hashem, the name of Hashem is going to be erased on the water. And number two, also the women which were teorot, right? What are you going to say? Imagine right now, a woman drinks. You're going to say, nah, she probably did do it. But she has a zechut, so let's wait 2 or 3 years. Let's wait a little bit. So that's we'll see shemra on the pure woman. And not only that, the other women that they're tmeot, they're going to drink and they don't care. Why? Because they know that they probably did something good in their lives and maybe it's going to push it off. So they're not going to die immediately. So therefore, they're going to erase the name of Hashem. They're not going to admit it, and then they're going to drink it. So you have 2 negative reasons of a shomrim tmeotem and a shatatal and zechut. So therefore, because of that, it does not push off anything. Meaning that's it. You know, like once they have it, they have it. Rabbi says no. It does tolah. Okay, what does that mean? It does help it. However, the zechut is not going to be meginah, only that she's not going to die immediately. But en yoledet, she'll never become pregnant. Ve'ena meshabachat. Right, and if she's, she'll never become like better, whether it's in looks or anything like that. Okay, ela mitznava v'olecha, but rather she becomes weak and she starts going usof, and at the end, ki meta be'ota mita, she's still going to die with the exact same death as the sotah. Okay, nitmet minchata shelo kacha bekli. Right, if right now her mincha became impure until it was not sanctified, harei kechol menachot. So that's like all the menachot, but you have to redeem it. Right, and then you're going to come and you're going to buy another one. But if it was already after that, it was already sanctified in the kli sharet, it's like all the other menachot. It has to be burnt. These are the people that they're going to be burning their korban mincha. On the top, a woman that she comes and she says, or Edim came and she said that she was smeah. A woman that says that any shota, right? Or the husband does not want to give her to drink. So you see, that means if he retracted, right? Or he had relations with her. So in all these cases, right, they do not drink, and their mincha, right, is not brought, and therefore it has to be burned.